おはようございます。こんにちは。こんばんは。おやすみなさい。KCS チャンネル、みんふーです。タングルタワー実況プレイ続きやっていきたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。前回は、このフィリックス、フィフィから経由する形で、フェリックスの話聞いて、フェリックスの一番下の供述のところが開きました。その時にちょっとフローラからも話聞けるよってなったんだけど、ちょっと後回しにしちゃったので、今日はこのフローラから話聞くところから始めていきたいと思います。ちょっと喋ってくれるか心配なんですけど。怖いんだよなあ、もう開くんだ。
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah.It's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
絵だからナイフじゃないんだけど、持ち出された形跡とかは特にないんだよな。フィッツがナイフ持ってたみたいな話もあったけど、それは関係ないのかな。まだこの部屋の中にある一通り調べたけどな。持ち出された。
The knife was taken by the murderer.Wait,
I'm confused.
混乱してるのは僕もですよ。てめえが喋れば解決。
The knife is still in this room.
Wait, I'm confused.
Me too.
外しちゃった総当たり戦だよ。ちょっと反応いいねこれ。
We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
リアクションは取ってくれる。ナイフに見えるものが何なのかを説明する何かが。ナイフに見えるものが何なのかを肖像画にあるナイフのようなものとは。スコップじゃねえ？これ横から見たらナイフじゃねえ？ある
？Kinda makes sense, but no.
鳥！頭赤いやん、鳥！
Let's take a closer look at this.
ナイフに見えます？これ。ナイフみたいのある。
The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink-dip bird.
頭だと思ったら羽がそうなのね。
But the
わあ、これ気づかないわ。
The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink-dip bird is red and white too?
赤と白だとわかる何かは、これかな。
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it,Why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
うわぁ、畳みかけてくるな。フローラとこの赤と白の鳥の関係性は、フローラのペットだった？フローラとこの赤と白の鳥の関係性だからな。
The ink-dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet.And it died?
Maybe. Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
Alright. So, she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally. This is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
フローラが普段隠してる。これか？でも他に隠せるとこないもんな。蓄音機に入れとくこともできなくはないけど。これじゃないですか？
But we opened it. It's empty.
Completely empty.
恐怖よりお前への苛立ちが勝った。
She's pointing at something in the corner of the
お、でもちょっと協力してくれてるな。
It's just a pile of books. They're not. Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
フローラの絵。フローラと小鳥が描かれた絵。裏には手書きでこう書かれている。これをあなたに送るは愛を込めてフレイヤ。うん。はい。ほいでよ。こんだけかな。情報更新されてるじゃないですか。そうだよな。自分で絵に血をつけてるんだよな。自分で入れ替えたインク。まあおそらく自分で入れた血を自分で塗ってるわけだから。持ってるのはナイフではなくて、まあ赤と白の鳥の羽、インクディップの羽でした。まあ、でもそうするとなんか殺人の見立て感はなくなってきたね。じゃあ次は、探偵行くか。じゃあ探偵話聞いていきたいと思います。これは解いたんだっけ？なんか謎解きあった気がする。オッケーオッケー。ここで拾ったんだ。望遠鏡のレンズなのね。はい。
It's a big stone die.
違う。操作が難しいのよ。さあ、いろいろ聞いていきましょうか。
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
それで生きていけるんだったら幸せだな。
Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious.
すごい相性悪そうだね。こういう感じだと。
Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition. No focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely. 314 cases solved. 314. Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the
証
signs.
拠はあったんだ。
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, detective.
お前も探偵ならな、みたいな感じね。
I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers in secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless. Professor Pointer is a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself. What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
まあこのポインターが雇ってんじゃねえかなと睨んで
I
るん
find
で
her
すけど
rather。embarrassing. Little more than a spoiled child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse.
逆に嫌いを出したのはここが一番はっきりしてるかな。
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite.
まあ人物に関してはそんなに結構まあフラットめな感じで、そうだね。大した情報は出てこなかったな、正直。証拠品もどうなんだろうな。なんか共有するのが果たしていいことなのかどうかみたいなとこあるけど。
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed too. You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint. Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps? Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then.
まあそうですね。
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No. Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
まあ、これ先にフローラの部屋行っちゃったからもう謎でも何でもないんだけど。
Paints?
Yep.
Paints?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know
これも血だったみたいですね、赤い絵の具は。
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
あ、そうか、赤い絵の具は全部血になってたのか。
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty. A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
これ結構直近で壊れてるっぽいもんな。
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
俺もそう思うよ。
I'd tell him not to quit his day job, but he hasn't got one, has he? I admit, it's powerful.
いや、全然情報落としてくれねえな、こいつ。
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference.
この絵もなんかな、ありそうなんだけどな、繋がってこないな。
Could be important. A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that. A diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating. This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And...
あ、本当？
what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust,
あ、まあそう
oils,
か。こい
clothing
つのす
fibers.
ぐそばに隠してあったんだ。
I have.
そりゃそうか。
I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client.
あ、こいつ多分この黄金の虫を探してたんだろうから。
The people here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth? This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around. Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially
これちょっとハープのやつと関係ありそうなんだけどな。
I guess we'll never know.
Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same? Yeah?
Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs. For blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
そうか、象で言うと、ハープと管楽器とリュートいるんだね。黄金の虫。
Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them. 3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would. These people really are ridiculous, aren't they? And you consider that important evidence, do you? Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
こんなところですかね。なんも情報落としてくんねえな、こいつ。全然開く様子ないしな。多分まあなんかその前日以前に依頼されてる話と、黄金の虫の話とかでついてったら開くのかなと思ったんですけど。まあ、そうね。こいつはまだ後々かなっていう感じですね。今日フローラ、まあ結局喋ってくんなかったけど、フローラ。あと北昇探偵の話聞いて、ちょっと行ったり来たりしなきゃいけないっぽいんだけど、まあ次こういうところだとやっぱ、フィッツ、ペネロピあたり回っていこうかなと思います。だんだん話複雑化してちょっと面白くなってきましたね、これは。はい。よろしければ高評価、チャンネル登録お願いいたします。それではまた次回の動画で。バイバーイ。